Welcome everyone to Gaggle with the Geese. I am one of your hosts, Scott Rutter, along with the other half of the GooseheadGuyz, dyrke.maricle, and together we are Goosehead Insurance. Goosehead is your premier option when it comes to home and auto insurance in North Carolina. And Dirk Peaches, who is our sponsor today, please?
Today, our sponsor is Justin Michener with Tech Spartan. If you are looking at trying to find the best way to reach your ideal demographic through social media, that is the man to get a hold of. Scott and I use him. He's fantastic. And we encourage you all to find out exactly what Justin at Tech Spartan can do for you.
Excellent, excellent. Well, listen, I am so excited to have with us our special guest, Jenny Midgley, who is a #1 storytelling photographer and content marketer. She's the only one in the triangle that I know that does what she does. And she also happens to be one of the hosts of one of the most popular podcasts, which is Two Girls That Do Stuff. So Jenny, thank you so much for joining us. And if you'll go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, that'd be awesome.
Sure. First, thanks so much for having me. This is fun and exciting stuff to be on this side versus the girls who do stuff where I'm sitting where y'all are. But yeah, so as Scott said, I'm a content marketer, content marketing strategist, and brand and marketing photographer. So I help you get seen and stay seen and engage with your ideal clients and customers on all of your digital marketing platforms by making sure you're putting your energy on the right platforms with the right message, using images effectively to market your business, and to really leverage you as the business owner or face of your business if you're a sales professional. So, and I do that. I have an online course called Stories and Strategies, creating content that sells. And I also, I take pictures too, which is super fun.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to becoming a client. And also, I know you've helped many of our friends, my friends, and they've had, raving reviews. So we're not going to waste any time, Jenny. We're going to go ahead and throw you in the hot seat. So tell us, what would your ideal vacation be? Where would you go and what would you do?
All right. So my ideal vacation is one where we go and then we're just there. Like a beach. We were in the process of planning Turks and Caicos for one of those vacations. But also Mauritius. I've the that's my newest, through the quarantine, stumbling through research. It's off the coast of Africa somewhere. Okay. So that would be also equally exciting, I think.
Definitely. Well, I'll tell you, we've been fortunate to go to beaches, Turks and Caicos twice, and let me tell you, of all the vacations I've been on, my absolute favorites. So you're going to have a great time. So hopefully,
yeah, Scott.
See, going there sooner as opposed to later.
Scott's the beach guy. I mean, I burn like a fire truck. So that's. You send
it's
me
that
where
red hair.
It's that and the pasty white skin. I mean, between the two, yeah. So
I'm like Casper, so it's not like I just slather myself with 90 sunblock and sit under umbrellas, but it's just
I need triple-digit sunblock.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, let's jump into the local spotlight question. So, what is your favorite restaurant in the area? Hands down, this is a place I got to go. And when you go there, what do you order?
So yeah, I always struggle. Somebody's like, what's your favorite movie? And I'm like, I can't tell you what my favorite movie is because it depends on my mood. But typically I do love, the Mason Jar Tavern. And, when I go there, I get their fried green tomatoes.
Oh.
And usually I get one of their margaritas, which is, yum. And yeah, and they also own Scratch Kitchen and Tap Room, which they have this pimento cheese thing that's to die for.
I love fried green tomatoes.
Yeah, and I can walk to Scratch, so that's a that's a bonus.
Now, where is that located, Jenny? Because I only know of the Mason Jar. There's 2 locations in Fuquay. So where's the Mason Jar you're referring to?
Yep, the Mason Jar in Holly Springs, and then the Mason Jar in Fuquay, and then Scratch Kitchen and Tap Room is in downtown Apex. It's where the old Blister Pig was.
Got it.
So it's in the Tobacco Mule Exchange, and I remember I went there with a couple of girlfriends. It was 3 or 4 weeks after it opened, and we went at almost 8 o'clock on a Monday night, and we waited for 45 minutes for a table. on a Monday, like we were like, what is happening in the universe? Like that we picked, what we thought was like the slow night. And they were like, no, we're like this every night. And it's like,
Wow.
you're going to stay open. You're doing something correct.
Absolutely. That's definitely a great problem to have for sure.
Yeah.
So I think we already touched on this one, but the next question is going to be, there's a lot of people that do what you do, but obviously there's not a lot of people that do what you do. You're kind of a one of a kind. Is there anything further you want to elaborate in terms of what separates you from anyone else?
Yep. So, you know, I mean, this all started with the branding photography and working specifically with small business owners and sales professionals to really showcase how they are different, right? And doing that storytelling through photos. And capturing them really doing what they do with their families, with whatever it was. Like we would I have a comprehensive process to really dig deep and get to know you so that I know how to help you tell your story. And then I realized that my clients weren't using my pictures and I couldn't figure out why. And I was like, they'd be so excited and they'd, you know, I mean, they pay me money and they'd get the pictures and then they wouldn't use them. And I started asking why. And, I finally got one to answer me, and it was Sarah, because she felt like she could be 100% honest. She's like, I don't want to take advantage of your time, but I don't know how to use my pictures. And so all of that planning that we did on the forefront, where we were talking about like, you know, this is where you're going to use this image and this is why you're wearing this outfit. And all of that kind of went poof by the time I delivered their galleries. So I spent a lot of hours with my previous clients, and I also took on some new ones with the intention of really strategically looking at how I could better help and make sure that they had a plan and a strategy so that they could hit the ground running and use those images as soon as the galleries were delivered. And so that turned into this content marketing system that I created, where we really, like, I start my first question for every single one of my clients is we talk about their legacy goals and what their big visions are. And then I ask them to outline their 5, 3, and 1 year goals. And we work backwards from there so that we're creating content that will attract those people. Like there's a whole lot that you go through when you work with me, but we start
Sounds
there.
like it.
It's really a process so that we are creating the best possible package and you understand what platforms you need to be on. Like if your target demographic is not a, 20 to 35-year-old, why waste your time on Instagram, right? Like you don't need to be putting stuff out there just because some expert told you that you need to be everywhere to everyone. Like we don't throw spaghetti at the wall hoping something's going to stick, right? We want to be intentional with our strategies. So, I created this whole content marketing system that I teach my clients one-on-one, and now I have an online course. And so you can, work in a group format, and it's been really successful so far. I've been really excited because it was totally not in the cards until there was a quarantine and I wasn't allowed to take people's pictures.
That's awesome. And it sounds like, I think the best way to, probably is for people to set up some like good one-to-one time with you, find out exactly how what you do fits into their overall strategy. Because it sounds like it's really not one size fits all kind of a thing. So awesome.
Well, and Dirk Peaches, one thing I was going to say is, I love that. And I also admire, Jenny's been able to pivot so well during this time and, didn't miss a beat because she was so proactive in her many processes. But, it kind of is what you and I practice in insurance. We're very holistic. We do a deep dive discovery conversation, mile wide, mile deep. And Jenny, honestly, I mean, we've told some clients that we're not going to write them because at the end of the night, we need to sleep. And so again, if they want less coverage than what's recommended. So anyway, I definitely appreciate the process, and it's all about, doing the right thing by your clients and really taking that comprehensive approach. So good for you. And I know you do that.
So jumping on, we need to get to our local spotlight question. So I got to have a drink. You're thirsty. Where do you go? What do you drink when you get there?
I go to my backyard, or I go to Dominic Battistella's house.
To the speakeasy?
It is. So I go to the speakeasy. So there is a benefit to being friends with a chef. I'm just saying. I'm a Tito's girl. Like I'm a vodka girl. So I'm happy with some, Tito's and soda, but if it's like a drink, like a fancy cocktail, it's likely a mojito with some kind of yummy simple syrup. And I also enjoy some of the ciders, and I don't know if y'all have had, if y'all are cider fans, but there's a company out of Austin called Austin East Ciders, and it's East, Ciders. And they make a blood orange and a pineapple cider and a sangria cider, and they are delicious.
Man, I am so thirsty right now.
I,
And Dominic was our last guest, by the way, too. So I'm still waiting to go there to the speakeasy. I think he doesn't want to invite me because he knows I'm going to whoop his butt in ping pong. So that's the whole thing. So we'll see.
Right. Well, I mean, it's likely. I mean, just, let him.
We'll see. We got a bottle bet on it. So,
yeah.
Yep. Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're at the last question. So again, you get to have that, vodka, which by the way, I think Tito's is your favorite because you haven't had Topo, which you definitely have to try. A friend of mine owns that. So it's an organic vodka, but you get to have that or that mojito with anyone dead or alive. Who would you have that with and why?
Yeah. Again, this is like the movie question, like who would you want to meet, right? Like I'm like Eleanor Roosevelt, Michelle Obama, John Meacham, and you guys were like, who's John Meacham? So FYI, John Meacham wrote George H.W. Bush's biography, but he's a really cool cat and you should hear him speak. But I think ultimately I would honestly love to sit down with Annie Leibovitz. And from a technical standpoint as a photographer, it would be amazing to learn from her, but also from a storytelling perspective, because she, like, for those that don't know photography and don't follow, like she was a trailblazer. She was a trendsetter back when women weren't creating the images that she does, and she did. So yeah, so that would be a conversation that I would love to sit and have, probably over coffee, or wine or vodka, whatever. I don't drink wine, but vodka.
Whatever it would be. Awesome. Well, great answer. Thank you so much for sharing it. That's perfect.
Wrap us up, Dirk. Take us home, Peaches.
Well, we appreciate it. I mean, first of all, Jenny, if somebody does want to get a hold of you, what is the best way for them to reach out?
Yeah, so you can go to my website. It's jennymidgley.com. You can go to Facebook and find me, surprisingly, at Jenny Midgley. And on Instagram, also Jenny Midgley, because I am my brand. So everything is, you can find me on LinkedIn, again, under Jenny Midgley. You can listen to the Girls Who Do Stuff podcast, and that's girlswhodostuf.com. I'm accessible. So however you want to reach me, you can find me networking, and I'll respond. And like you guys, like I honor the fact that whoever is reaching out to me has questions. And if we're not the best fit, I will refer them on to somebody who might be a better fit, or I will tell them that I don't think it's the best timing.
Awesome.
Which, I mean, you guys know that ends up coming back to you tenfold because of that
100%.
integrity, right? So
awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. And again, we want to thank Justin Michener with Tech Spartan for sponsoring us today. I hope you guys all had a great time. We found out a lot of information about Jenny. Hope you definitely reach out, or at least go on and try and figure out what the girls are doing, because they're doing stuff. So we got to figure out what they're doing. So at least go and check that out. So hopefully we'll see you next time. And remember, please check out the Goosehead guys. If you feel like you're paying more for insurance than what you're supposed to, if you look at that bill at the end of the month and say, I've got to save some money, give us a call. We will be able to help you out. I promise you. All right. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, Jenny.
thanks, guys.
Thank you, Jenny.
Appreciate it.